Hey, this is Al Duncan, co-host of Skill Talk. Look, I'm sitting here loving life. Life is loving me. I got the calm waters, the palm trees, and the golf course in the background. You know what? And we got an exciting episode of Skill Talk coming up for you in just a few seconds. But first, let me let you know a couple things we got going on. We got a new program called the S3 Young Professionals Program. That's where you get a chance to hear from and learn from students, graduate professionals, undergrads. We're talking about interns and young professionals in the STEM industry. We're talking about young STEM leaders doing their thing. You get to hear from them, learn from them about soft skills and how they're using them in the workplace and in school. And so you know what? Make sure you head over to s3tem.com. That's s3tem.com. Check that out. While you're there, sign up for the newsletter. Make sure you get your free soft skills success plan as well. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what time it is. It's time for Skill Talk. So enjoy the episode.
Hi, welcome to Skill Talk, the Soft Skills Success Show. My name is Michelle Lee, the founder of Soft Skills for STEM, and my co-host Al Duncan.
Yes, I'm loving it. You just paused all of a sudden.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you know what? But you paused like that. It made me think about something that you were talking to me about.
What, eating all this candy after Halloween?
No. We're not talking about you would have paused on the candy and everything. I'm talking about you said you had some quote or something that you were reading the other day, had something to do with discipline.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to get through these holidays.
Okay, you trying.
I done tore it up with Halloween, all the candy in the office, and now I'm thinking about Thanksgiving's right around the corner and Christmas. And people
Right.
inviting me over and having like self-control. But I did see something on Facebook that made me think about it. And so every time I see some candy that I like and I want to eat, or this Thanksgiving, to give up the sweets.
Yeah.
The quote that I saw, I'm gonna think about this quote.
Okay.
And that is, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
Oh, I like this. Say that one more time. I want to make sure they didn't miss that. That's a good quote.
Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
Whew, that's a good quote. You know what? And people struggle with that. They do. It's a hard thing. And when I say people, I mean everybody, even successful people from any walk of life. So, we are all disciplined in some areas, but we lack discipline in other areas. And so that's very challenging. I think that quote is very important. Reminds me of a term that I love, a term, and you and I were talking about this before, and that is delayed gratification.
Yes.
It's an important term,
And I grew up with my mother saying that.
What, about delayed gratification?
Delayed gratification and instant gratification, self-gratification.
Right.
Yeah, so, and and I think that has a lot to do with discipline and also self-control. We talk about self-management, one of your, the 5 categories, self-management,
That's
and
right.
that falls under that.
Yes, I agree. That is one of the 5 clusters, self-management and professionalism, the 5 clusters of soft skills. And delayed gratification, we all struggle with it from time to time. It reminds me of a Duncan nugget. I always say that delayed gratification is the ability to keep temporary pleasure from blocking your progress towards long-term success. And it happens to people in all walks of life. You find yourself chasing little things here and there because you want pleasure immediately right now, and we all understand that. And sometimes that blocks your view of what's going to help you and benefit you long term, and it also impedes your impulse control, which is another very important term. That's the ability to allow logic and reasoning to win over your impulses. So people love to, shop when I'm an impulse shopper, or I have impulsive behavior. I need to blurt out, just tell people everything that's on my mind. Or you know what? I don't feel like studying tonight. I need to go to this party. You know what? I don't feel like going to sleep tonight. My show is on. I'm binge watching. I'm on Netflix. You got a project to do. You need to get up for work. And it's hard to stop that stuff because we get this chemical benefit from getting pleasure. You get endorphins and things of that nature, but that stuff, you got to be careful because what it does is, everybody knows this, it can block, impede, or totally stop your progress towards long-term success. So delayed gratification is a master ability. If you look at someone that is successful, they have found a way in some shape, form, or fashion to say, you know what? I got to delay right now so that I can be more successful later. I got to do today what other people won't do so that tomorrow I can have what other people don't have, and things of that nature.
Yes.
Yes. You like that? You like, it sounds good, Al. It sounds good, but it's hard to do.
No, but with age and with through experience and not repeating mistakes, you will learn that delayed gratification.
Yes, and delayed gratification is one of those things that you can't just get up and say, okay, you know what, from now on in, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to do this. You have to replace habits. You can't just, here's the thing people don't know. So delayed gratification is usually a battle between your habits. It's a battle between something that you want in the future, something that you want right now that has to do with a habit that you're used to doing all the time. And so in order for you to stop habits, you can't just stop a habit or stop a thought. People don't know this. You have to replace habits. You have to replace thoughts. So like someone that is, that maybe they stop smoking or something like that, the reason weight gain comes as a result of them stopping smoking is because something has replaced the habit, or something has replaced that desire for the immediate pleasure, and you haven't begun to master or replace the habit, and so that you could master impulse control. You just replace the smoking with eating, or you replace the spending money with watching TV, or you replace one bad relationship with another one, or you replace trying to speak your mind with doing something crazy, having terrible body language. Let me pause again. You have replaced speaking your mind. People always say you need to watch what you say, especially at work a lot of times. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm just going to be quiet. Yeah, but your body language is speaking loud, and so it's hard to do that. You have to learn to replace your habits, which will enable you to begin to master delayed gratification.
And see, I want to add a little bit to that. We have a lot of technology now.
Right.
That does the opposite.
Yes.
It basically teaches us instant gratification. Like with our phones, we're constantly checking our phones. We want this here, Amazon.
Yes.
I just told you the story the other day where I ordered my sister a Fitbit online. It was actually last Sunday, and she got it like a couple of hours later. It's like,
wow.
And then I just like, oh man,
Got you. And so that starts to translate over into other areas of your life. You're like, well, if I get my Amazon Fitbit in a couple hours, how come I can't show up to work and become president of the company in a couple hours? Or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, because you have to be careful. This is how young people think if they're not careful nowadays. And so that's okay. Broadband society, Wi-Fi society, and microwave society, whatever they want to call it. That stuff is all there.
And then also you got the credit card.
Yeah, credit card, all that stuff.
Yeah, credit card. So you're, I have this rule. If I don't have the money, I'm not going to put on credit card. I use credit card for emergencies.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, but we have a lot of young people actually just using their credit cards, and then it's instant gratification at the time, but then it's added on stress because how you going to pay those bills? And I'm going to tell you, I was guilty of that. When I was in college, they were actually, and this was a long time ago, they were actually targeting college students. And I had a credit card with a pretty high limit when I was in school. Yeah. And then I was just charging them, not really thinking about the consequences. But when I got myself out of that situation, I was like, oh, we're not doing this again.
Yes, because you mastered a lesson and didn't repeat the same mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of times not the first mistake, it's the repeat mistake that gets you anyway.
And that is, so, with young adults, credit cards, and like I said, we have access to a lot of things now, and it's like we think about, but now, and that's why I really like that quote, versus what you want later. So in that sense, when I talk about the food, you know, I really want to be healthy and have a good body weight, but I can't do that if I'm sitting there eating everything that I want now.
This is very true. And look, give you all these quotes and the stories and the anecdotes. Of course, you're sitting up here like, oh, that makes sense. That's definitely true. The problem is in the heat of the moment, when you actually have to do it, that's when it's challenging. So let me give you all a tool that will help you out. So I got what I call the Duncan decision-making model. It's real simple. It's just real simple. When you have to make a decision or when you're about to do something, you just ask yourself a few questions. Number one is, what are the positives for me if I do this? What are the negatives for me if I do this? What are the positives for someone else if I do this? What are the negatives for someone else if I do this? And the $1 million question is, will all of that help or hurt my chances of becoming successful long term? And so if you just pause for a second when you can, right, and ask yourself those little questions right there, what it will do is, I'm not saying all of a sudden it will make you start always choosing long-term success over temporary pleasure, but what it will do is make you say, you know what, if I do this now, then I know what I got to do later to make up for this. Or if I do this now, you know what, that's because I want to, and not I didn't realize what was going to happen as a result of me making this decision right now. That's all it does. We're all human, as I keep saying. All of us struggle with delayed gratification and being disciplined and things of that nature. I don't know anybody that whatever level of success they are, that always gets that right. But successful people get it right more often than they get it wrong.
Yeah, so we talk about delayed gratification. We talk about self-control, self-discipline, being responsible.
That's right.
And can you think of anything else
that goes along with that?
Yes.
No, it's just about managing your emotions, because a lot of times delayed gratification is a battle with your emotions, and that's all it is. And you don't have to suppress them, but you do have to learn how to manage them so that you're in charge of your emotions and your emotions aren't running you around.
Okay.
That sounds good?
That sounds good.
But now the question is that going to stop you from eating candy? Nope. It's not. Let's not even pretend. But what will happen is it might make her realize, okay, if I eat this candy or help me realize I'm going to eat a bunch of junk food, I'm probably going to have to do some extra workouts. Or maybe you'll need to fast in a few days or something along those lines. Or maybe it will make you say, maybe I shouldn't speak my mind right now. Maybe I should hold on and think about that first. So maybe it'll make you say, you know what? I can want to quickly get promotions and quickly advance through my career, but maybe I just need to keep things in perspective. It might not go quite as fast as I want to go. So that's the whole point to that right there. Not to make you a perfect person or anything like that, because you know they don't exist. Anybody thinks they're perfect, we don't like them anyway. Right? Okay, so anyway, I think that's about it for right now. What you think?
That's it.
That's good. So we're going to practice some delayed gratification, because we would love to keep talking to y'all right now, but we're going to make you come and see us on the next episode. So, hey, my name is Al Duncan. On behalf of Dr. Michelle B. Lee, you've been joining another episode of Skill Talk. Look forward to seeing y'all on the next episode. Until then, be safe, be well, and be blessed.
Duncan Nugget.
Boom. The show is made possible thanks to the National Nuclear Security Administration.